Okay, so what if everything we think we know about space exploration, what if it's just the tip of the iceberg?
Right. Beyond the NASA missions we all hear about, there's this whole other narrative, isn't there? Whispers, really, that have been around for ages.
Exactly. And that's what we're doing today, a deep dive into these alleged secret space programs.
Yeah, and the sources we're looking at, they suggest this hidden history, these operations that supposedly go way beyond what's public knowledge.
Some really compelling testimonies,
Mm.
too, claims that just fundamentally challenge how far humanity has actually reached out there.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission today, basically, is to unpack these claims, look at why such secrecy might exist, according to these accounts, and explore some of the really specific details that have supposedly come out.
It's a fascinating area.
It really is. Usually when we think space, it's Sputnik and 57, Apollo, the shuttle
The
program.
landmarks, yeah, that's the public history we all know.
But these sources, they point to a parallel covert story.
And interestingly, even within that public history, there are moments that, well, these sources frame as potential catalysts for secret stuff, like the Apollo 1 incident.
January 67, right?
Yeah, January 27th, 1967. Just tragic. A ground test, the command module catches fire.
Killed Grissom, White, and Chaffee.
It did. The investigation found it was the pure oxygen atmosphere inside, plus a spark. Terrible combination.
I mean, you think about the timing.
Yeah,
The space race was absolutely frantic then, the U.S. versus the USSR.
exactly. So a disaster like Apollo 1, well, you can see how, according to these sources, it might push a government to think, okay, maybe we need some avenues that aren't so public, so vulnerable.
Which kind of leads into the whole idea of government secrecy in general.
Right. I mean, governments keep secrets all the time, don't they? National security is the big one. Avoiding espionage.
Protecting new tech.
Yeah.
Like stealth planes that dodge radar, or maybe supercomputers predicting things. That kind of stuff.
Sure, prototypes, sensitive data. And governments argue they have the right to protect that. Patents, technological edge, all that.
But secret space programs, that feels different. The sources frame it as another story entirely, yeah.
Definitely. It's a bigger leap than just hiding a new jet design.
Okay, so let's get into some of the specific allegations then. This idea of the 20 and back program comes up a lot in these sources.
It does. And it's less a single named program, more like a term for a type of contract or agreement that supposedly existed across several of these alleged secret programs.
And the core idea is
The core claim is pretty wild. Military folks sign up for 20 years of service, off and off-world. Then at the end, their memories are wiped,
wiped.
completely erased, allegedly. And then they're somehow returned to their original age back at the point in time when they first signed up.
Age regressed and time shifted back.
Yeah. And what's really striking is the claim that sometimes, despite this alleged memory wipe, people start remembering things.
That's where the whistleblowers come in.
Exactly. Our sources highlight a couple key names. Tony Rodriguez, who came forward around 2016, and Michael Jeroff around 2017.
And their stories are similar.
The sources describe their testimonies and others as being surprising and very similar. That similarity is a recurring point.
Okay, so what are the common threads in these stories?
Well, it's usually this. Recruited for a 20-year tour. Service involving space travel, moon, Mars, sometimes way beyond.
Then the memory wipe, the age regression.
And the time travel tech to put them back where they started. They supposedly lived those 20 years over again, totally unaware, until maybe something triggers the memories to resurface.
It sounds like science fiction.
It absolutely does. Let's maybe look closer at Tony Rodriguez's account because it's quite detailed in the sources.
Okay. How did he supposedly get involved?
He claims it started with an abduction. 5 extraterrestrials, he says. This happened after some incident involving a child whose father was supposedly high up in the Illuminati.
Ah, the secret elite theory.
Right, that whole narrative. And this father figure apparently housed gray extraterrestrials, the classic big-headed, large-eyed type.
And Rodriguez met aliens then.
He even mentions meeting a reptilian being that he described as very funny and told jokes.
A funny reptilian.
Right, okay. That's the fair.
Isn't it? So he claims he and others were tested, identified as theta, which in these circles often means having psychic abilities.
Right.
And by the time he was 16, this would be 1988, he says he was already on the moon.
16. On the moon. And working.
Yeah, he described his role as basically being a slave worker, treated with a rewards or punishment system. Constant work, mostly loading and unloading cargo on ships. Pretty grim picture.
Where did he supposedly go? Just the moon.
No. He mentions bases on moons of other planets too, like Saturn's moon Enceladus, but he gives a lot of detail about Ceres.
Ceres, the big asteroid between Mars and Jupiter.
That's the one, the largest object in the asteroid belt.
Yeah.
He describes this huge hidden base on the dark side of Ceres.
Hidden how? What was there?
Advanced alien tech was supposedly part of the cargo moving through there. He called the base a gigantic train station, huge locomotives, an underground cavern.
The train station on Ceres. That's the claim. He even mentions artificial telepathy, but done through machines, not natural ability. And this incredibly fast magnetic train system.
How fast?
Fast enough, he claims, to cross the entire 580-mile diameter of Ceres in just 30 minutes.
Wow. Okay. And what was daily life like on this supposed Ceres base?
Constant surveillance, he says. Unseen cameras everywhere. Even though he called himself a slave worker, he did apparently get paid sometimes.
Paid? Oh.
Small amounts in a currency called francs. He described them as looking like old Germanic coins, maybe 20 or 30 francs at a time.
Could he spend it anywhere?
No, that was the catch, supposedly. Only usable on-site because of facial recognition tech linked to spending.
The facial recognition currency. Okay. Who's he buying from?
He mentions middle-aged German saleswomen, and communication happened through automatic English-German translators.
German saleswoman on Ceres.
It's quite the image. And beyond Ceres, he also claims he visited several Earth-like planets way outside our solar system during his 20 years.
It's an absolutely incredible story.
It is, and the sources emphasize how similar it is in its core elements to other whistleblower accounts. Which brings us to another name that pops up frequently. Solar Warden.
Right, Solar Warden. This one is supposed to be run by the U.S. Navy.
That's the allegation, yeah. A secret Navy space program. Its job, reportedly, is to be like the solar system's border patrol.
Monitoring traffic.
Everything coming in, everything going out, patrolling, defending Earth and the solar system, and maybe even running missions, offensive or defensive, to other star systems.
Where did this supposedly come from? When did it start?
The narrative suggests the Navy started working with aerospace companies way back in the 1950s, designing these future ships.
And building them.
Supposedly built in the late 1970s, and get this, in huge underground shipyards.
Underground, where?
Locations mentioned include under the Wasatch Mountains in Utah, and even Antarctica.
Antarctica, wow.
Yeah, and the engineering teams supposedly lived on the ships once they were about 60% complete.
That's intense. Any mention of, like, political awareness of this? Presidents knowing?
There's a specific claim about President Reagan. Sources say he was briefed in 1980 about 4 or 5 ET careers within Solar Warden.
ET careers, meaning jobs involving aliens.
That seems to be the implication, yes. Roles or operations related to extraterrestrials. And the claim is Reagan really pushed the Solar Warden agenda.
Pushed it how?
More than expected, the sources say, leading, supposedly, to the first battle group becoming operational in 1984 and big fleet upgrades during his time in office.
Okay, so if this program exists, how does it supposedly work, this monitoring role?
The description is pretty detailed. Beacons outside our solar system supposedly transmit protocols to any incoming craft.
Protocols like?
Like, stop in this quadrant, send your friend or foe ID, then they apparently get a flight path from, well, interstellar air traffic controller.
Solar system traffic control, that's quite a concept.
Isn't it? And the system's reportedly divided into patrol zones. No unauthorized ships allowed. If you trespass, you're warned off or arrested.
And the fleet itself, what's it supposedly made of?
The claim is more than 8 battle groups. Think massive carriers or transporters, some allegedly up to 2 kilometers long.
2 kilometers, that's huge.
Enormous. Plus fighters, triangular shuttles, research vessels, troop transports, hospital ships, supply ships. The smaller transports are supposedly modular.
Designed for deep space.
Yeah, built for long missions, interstellar travel, though the sources say they mostly stayed within our solar system and the local star cluster.
So if something like this was operating, how on earth did anyone find out? Or claim to find out?
Well, that leads us to Gary McKinnon. Remember him? The hacker, sometimes known as Solo.
Oh, right. He hacked into U.S. military and NASA computers, didn't he? Back in the early 2000s.
Between 2001 and 2012, yeah. And what he claimed he found is central to the Solar Warden story in these sources.
What did he say he found?
He talked about finding evidence of non-terrestrial officers.
Non-terrestrial, as in alien, or just off-world humans.
The sources interpret it broadly, but the implication leans towards off-world personnel. He also mentioned finding logs of transfers of Starfleet to Starfleet.
Starfleet, like Star Trek.
That's the term he used, yeah. And crucially, evidence pointing to the existence of Solar Warden itself.
Which got him into serious trouble.
Oh, yeah. The Bush administration called it the greatest computer hacking of all time. They wanted him extradited from the UK, big time.
What was his defense? Why did he say he did it?
McKinnon argued he wasn't malicious. He claimed he was looking for proof of suppressed technologies, free energy, UFOs, stuff, things he thought the public should know about.
And did he find ship details?
He claimed he did. Specifically, finding info on about 8 large cigar-shaped ships described as nurse ships, longer than 2 football fields each.
Nurse ships, like support vessels.
Possibly. And also about 43 smaller reconnaissance vessels. He also apparently managed to get government officials summoned to testify under oath about a naval space fleet, though the outcome of that isn't fully detailed.
So he brought some attention to it, at least according to him.
And according to these sources, Solar Warden operates under the U.S. Navy's Space Operations Command, or NNSOC. They also repeat claims of around 300 personnel involved initially, numbers growing, which they connect to claims in Reagan's diaries, interestingly.
So what's the final word from these sources on McKinnon? Did he prove anything?
Well, the sources are quite candid. They basically say, look, the only thing that is real is that McKinnon discovered something that annoyed the government of the United States, alerting them and forcing them to reinforce their security.
So they don't definitively say he found Solar Warden, but they say he definitely found something sensitive that spooked the government.
That's the takeaway presented in the material, yes. It leaves you wondering.
It really does. You look at Rodriguez's story, McKinnon's claims, this whole Solar Warden narrative, the details are just extraordinary.
And the alleged consistency across different accounts. That's something the sources emphasize again and again.
Yeah. It all makes for a really complex and intriguing hidden narrative, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And our sources, they don't really pull any punches in their final assessment. They leave the listener with a pretty powerful thought.
What's that?
They state it quite directly. The secret space programs are a reality. We have only scratched the surface of this matter. Investigating and discovering the truth is everyone's obligation.
Wow. Everyone's obligation. That's putting it strongly.
It is. It's presented not just as a fringe theory, but as something real and important that demands investigation.
So for you listening, it really makes you think, doesn't it? About the nature of secrecy, about what might be possible beyond our everyday understanding.
Yeah, what else could be out there technologically or otherwise? That's just beyond our current imagination.
Food for thought, definitely.
Yeah.
Keep asking questions, keep digging, and join us next time for another deep dive.